feel nervous all of a sudden because he said I'm on TV. The gospel for today is about discipleship. But what struck me with this particular gospel is Jesus selected 72 others besides the apostles and sent them in pairs, 2 by 2s. I was thinking and reflecting about this gospel. Let me see. In the Old Testament, Yahweh sent Adam another person, Eve, Moses, and Aaron. And in the New Testament, St. Paul and Barnabas. Jesus' time, the 12 apostles. But more so, every time Jesus will do something big, he goes up to the mountain and pray. Not with the 12, but only the selected few. 1 or 2 people is enough. And think about this. Why is Jesus teaching his disciples about discipleship? No sack, no money. Who will do that? If you go for a trip, there's no luggage? Seriously? No. But what is God trying to teach us? It's full trust with God. You need material things or stuff, but He is more, or God is more, into relationship with one another. Jesus wanted to be here with us for a reason, into relationship. Look at this. Your household, your husband, your wife, and then you have siblings, your mom and your dad. In the classroom, the same thing. Teacher, student, sports, coaches, players. My background is high school education. I came from Crespi Carmelite High School in Encino, the other side of the valley. As a teacher, I always give a homework. I taught Old Testament and New Testament to freshman, sophomore students. Every time I give a homework, do this, kids, A, B, C, D, and the next day, they will turn in a different page. I know parents, you can relate to this. And also, as husbands and wives, you ask your wife or your husbands, go buy me some milk, and he will come back with a bunch of eggs. I know what you're talking. You can relate to this. This is the reason why we are in relationship with one another. Relationships are not perfect. This person next to us is our mirror. This person will always remind us, you don't do this, you don't do that. And you know what? It is okay. And this is what God is telling us with go 2 by 2s or in pairs. We have to be in relationship with one another so that our faith will be fully alive. Because faith becomes stagnant. Without challenges, without joys, our faith becomes flat. But because of one another, the person sitting next to you will be a reminder that he or she is Christ. Makes our faith alive. And now, one of the reasons why it's difficult, our relationship with one another, because when we talk, we only hearing sounds. But with Jesus, it's different. This is the reason why he was giving instructions of how discipleship should be. Because Jesus is teaching his disciples to listen. Hearing and listening is different. When you hear, you only hear sounds. but listening involves learning. The disciples needs to learn what are the ways of Christ. And for us today, Christians of the 21st century, my prayer and our prayer with one another, we learn to listen so that we may learn from what we are hearing. Listening is very important. It's a skill. How can we apply that in our life, in our personal life? When we pray, how do we pray? God, I want this. Can you give me this? But in listening, maybe we can try this week. God, what do you want from me? It's different. God, what do you want from me? So that our faith will be enriched. And our second reading talks about rejoicing. We are people of faith, happy people, and share that happiness and joy to other people, especially for those people who are not experiencing the light of Christ. We are here together as one family. We may learn not just to hear, but to listen. And as we celebrate July 4th, we may learn to listen to one another for our country, that we may do great, not just for ourselves, but for one another, to do just and to do good work for others. Thank you.